We're gonna actually try to do the 10-minute rapid fire, no editing version, speaking the truth.
Yeah, before we do that, I got one more thing to say. My favorite part about the wedding was Rachel going to all the couples and petitioning, like, when you guys get married, you're inviting us. Like, she plants seeds in their heads, like, you're inviting us, remember us, think of us, we're coming to the wedding, right? Like, it was so funny. That's you.
I was so drunk, I barely remember that. I am such a Cupid.
Yeah.
And I was like, anyone who was in a relationship, I'm like, you're getting married like next year. And when you do, you're inviting me and Luke kids. Yeah. I don't care where you live.
Yeah. You're like that person when people can be like, when's the baby coming? Like, yeah, that person be like, we just got married. What are you talking? Yeah.
Well, I know babies a little harder because babies, like, you're talking about fertility issues, but like a wedding, you could just throw on a ring, get married, no bad.
Right.
Get married. Get married.
All right, so all you couples out there, if you get married, send us the invite.
Seriously, if you get married and you want Arnold like at your wedding, send us an invitation in our P.O. box.
There you go.
Well done. They're like, watch this.
Bro, like, all right, we got 47 weddings to go to this year.
I am down. You down?
I'm down. Wedding hoppers, what's it called? Wedding crashers?
Let's go. If you have a wedding, invite us. All right, so I'm gonna go pull up the questions. We're gonna actually try to do the 10-minute rapid fire, no editing version, speaking the truth.
Sanish says, Rachel, Lucas appears as if he can dance, has some rhythm, and enjoys dancing. Was that an attraction for you? Keep writing. His seductive, gyrating motions. Do you two have the chance to get out and dance, or is this an activity around the house?
Okay, good question. Yes, actually that was one of the things that like really like solidified like my love for him was that role. I don't know. What do you think?
I think so too. I think whenever you saw that I could dance, you know, you felt my moves. You were like, oh, okay, I'm really gonna marry this man. This is the one.
Well, we danced some more during the college days. Now that we have kids and stuff, now we just dance around the house.
Just dance for TikTok and the reels.
Yeah, and I think that's why we really enjoyed the reels so much is that we could finally get that Rachel and Lucas out, you know, and have fun with it. I don't know.
It's nice to see like the other side of us. Yeah. Cool. Rosa, Rachel and Lucas, what personal attributes attracted you to each other and why? Also, how did you know he or she was the one you wanted to marry? Thanks.
You go first.
Okay. So personal attributes meaning like internal, right? I think so.
No, but personal attributes attracted you to each other. So you tell me mine.
Yeah, no, I meant like.
Okay, Alexa.
Okay. Don't say. All right. So to me, honestly, Rachel was super funny. She was super kind and caring. Like she would take the time out to talk to you or like nurture you. You know, if you had something going on, she saw it. She would just call it out and be like, "What's going on? Do you want to talk?" Oh. So that really attracted me to her. I think from then I knew that she was the one I wanted to marry, honestly. But other than that, I mean, you're funny, you're kind, you're charismatic. Like you just bring joy to people's lives when you walk in the room. Me? But let me keep going before your head gets too big. Like, I'm just kidding, but yeah, you're awesome.
I would kiss you.
Always. It's popping. Go ahead. All right, what about me?
What attracted me to Lucas was, I mean, which you still to this day. You still do this to this day. Lucas is very aware to details, and he's very genuine. So what I mean by that was, let's say Lucas saw you were hungry, he would like stop what he's doing and make me some spaghetti and chicken. Right. Like boom. And even like we weren't even dating or talking then. I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. You're hungry? I got you. Boom, 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 boom. He went to the kitchen to start cooking. It was like so cool. Aww. And then like when we started talking, like let's say I'm like, oh man, if he sees that I ran out of like pink moisturizer back in the day, if you know pink moisturizer, wow. Let me know in the comments. Throwback. Way throwback. Lucas went to the Black Beauty Supply store and they're just looking at him like, what is this boy doing here? And he got me the pink moisturizer, shampoo and conditioner. Like he would get me anything I need without me asking him to do it. Right. And that is when I knew like, this is the man I want to marry.
Like this is husband material right here.
I mean, geez, I mean, not only were you good looking, you know, and genuine, but like, you were seriously nurturing to me, and you catered. I mean, like it wasn't catered as like, let me take her to a $100 restaurant. You know what I'm saying? It was like, let me cater to her needs, her actual needs, and I still really appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna kiss you. Oh gosh, I can't kiss my cheek.
Alright, what's the next one? Alright, so Alicia says, "Hi Rachel and Lucas, I love watching you guys and the family. I knew you all were married, but I'm always fascinated by married men and married women who go out in public with their wedding ring on. My question, Rachel, why do you go out in public with your wedding ring on?" Wait.
Without your wedding ring on. It's such a beautiful ring.
Without.
Lucas gave you. It looks awesome on your finger. I do not know why people think I don't have my wedding ring on.
I think I know why.
Huh.
I think because if they watch a reel or a TikTok, it's flipped a lot of times. Like we don't reverse it. So if your right hand is up or in the camera, it's gonna look like your left hand.
Right.
So I think that might be why. The only other time Rachel wasn't wearing a wedding ring was whenever you were having your health issues and you had swelling and it wouldn't fit.
Right. The last time I haven't worn it is when Josiah was like 5 months old. Like I always wear it. Oh, you know what? The way we sit, I'm always like this.
Yeah. So Rachel.
This is my right hand.
Right. We're always, if you've ever noticed, we're always on this side of each other.
Always.
So I'm always on Rachel's left side.
Always.
Yeah. So that's probably why. They might not see it because this hand is like here.
Yeah. I always have my wedding ring on. Like I cannot take it off because Rachel loses things. Rachel has ADD. Rachel will lose her ring if it's off her finger. So Rachel's ring does not come off Rachel's finger.
True story.
And it's a beautiful ring. Then the one thing I don't wear is the band. Now the band still doesn't fit my finger.
Yeah.
I probably will try again soon. I feel like I've lost a little bit more weight, so maybe it will fit, but I don't know why. The band just doesn't fit this finger anymore, but the ring does. And it fits really well. So
yeah. I don't think the band's important. I think that's more like the, you know, you can see that part.
The important part.
Yeah. Alright. Good question.
Good question.
Alright, I know y'all met in college. My question is, who makes the first move to become friends? Number 2, if you guys have any advice for people dating outside their race, what advice I want both of y'all to answer separately.
Okay, so you wanna go first?
Okay, so make the first move to become friends.
Wow, I guess anyone at that point can make the first move. If I'm the kind of person, if you're a cool person, I'm gonna approach you and be like, yo, like, you know, let's be friends. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me because I don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
But I think all my friends, I was kind of like forced into close proximity with them.
True.
So either being on a team or like being in class. So that's honestly like, it's unfortunate. I can't like tell you how to go out and make friends.
I guess the best way to do it is like, I know Lucas, how you did it, babe.
No.
So Lucas wanted to be friends with me and get closer with me. So he told my friend, one of our friends, to invite me over to teach him how to do the jug.
Yeah, like teach us a dance.
The dance. Yeah. So like, then I was able to hang out with all 3 of them, and then in turn became friends with Lucas.
Right.
That was slick, babe.
Thank you. Yeah. So I was like,
stuff like that.
That was kind of like a high school move, like how my friend like ask her to come over and hang out, like, you know. But it worked out, so it made us in closer proximity, and then they kind of like got to know each other better, and it just grew from there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But as far as like dating outside your race, and this is hilarious to me because like every time a video goes viral on us, people are like, oh, this is a trend, this is that, and I'm like, Lucas and I have been together since 2009. Like it's been almost 12 years. Yeah.
When interracial dating was actually frowned upon. We were not like, this is not. We
weren't like a fad or a trend or like, does that make sense? Yeah.
It's so weird.
I think we need to do a video addressing like some comments. Like that'd be a good video.
That'd be a good video. We have to, because these comments it's like ridiculous.
People
like
are trifling.
What people say. So I mean, let us know if you want us to. And I know people are gonna say to leave it alone. Which part of me just wants to leave it alone. But it's like we've been together for 12 years. Listen, I was 18 years old. The internet was barely a thing. The internet really wasn't a thing.
No, when we first started dating, like Rachel had a smartphone, and she like posted a picture on Facebook, and I was like, how'd you do that? Like you have to like go to your computer, take the SD card out, upload the photo to put onto. No,
remember that?
Yeah, that not anymore.
No.
So, yeah, we've been together for a long time, guys. We're old.
So like this is not a fad trend. Like Lucas and I getting together wasn't really a interracial dating thing. It was more like, that girl's really cool. That boy is really cool. So like, I have nothing to say when it comes to like knowing how to date outside your race, because I want to say what happened to me is definitely my area. Our team was 99.99999% white.
Yeah.
So my chances of dating black was slim to none. Because we are both introverts. I'll be more obnovert, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I do not go out my way to meet people outside of my set thing, whether it's school, whether it's church, whether it's track.
Right.
So my whole church was white, my whole track team was white, I mean, everything I knew was like, was white.
Yeah.
So, and what about you?
Yeah, well, as far as like for dating outside your race, I don't think there's any like tricks or tips or and you can't, like, you need to be yourself, right? So you can't go out there and be like, I'm gonna act this way to date this race, because then if you guys work and you get married, then you're not gonna stop acting yourself, and then it's gonna be like, who is this person? So you gotta be yourself, and then if that person loves you, no matter what color they are, then that's what it is. Yeah, there's no tricks or secrets. Now, I wanted to say there's one comment that said, I guess Serena Williams paved the way or something like that. I was like, when did Serena, I looked up, they got married in 2017. She got married to a white man. I'm like, really? We've been together since 2010. Like, come on.
Shoot.
Anyway.
Like, come on. Our kid is older in her relationship.
But anyway.
Anyways. You are so
Yeah, all right, next comment. We spent a lot of time on that one.
I like it then.
Velva says, is there any one major thing you would do differently, and what would it be?
What would I do differently?
With our relationship? Or like in general in life?
I don't know. I feel like anything that we feel like we need to do better for each other, we actually do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you can't really say it because the mistakes you make are learning points in your life, so you can't really say like, I wish I didn't do this or like change this, because then you wouldn't be the person you are today.
Exactly.
I guess one little thing I guess I would say is like have Josiah and Lillian a little closer together would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
But it still works out really well, so I can't complain about that.
Right.
So, and you know, God has a plan, everything for a reason. So.
Right. And they're now starting to play together.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do wish it was 1 year closer.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
But it's okay.
That's a major thing.
Yeah. How long did you guys date before becoming engaged? And would love to know how Lucas proposed. I want to do a video.
How you proposed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we should do a how I proposed video.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would.
What happened?
Oh my gosh, I can't edit that out.
I was like, did my breath stink? Like,
no, I just sneezed.
It looked like my breath like. Right.
We did get a lot of, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. So how long did we date before we became engaged?
Wow, we dated for like 1.5 years. It wasn't much.
Yeah, 1.5 years. Was it 2? No, it wasn't even 2 years.
It wasn't 2 years, almost 2 years.
Yeah, and then we were engaged for almost
9
a year.
months.
Yeah. Or no, it was, yeah, no, it was like 10.
So 10 months.
Yeah.
So we dated for 2 years and almost 3 years before getting married.
Yeah.
So there's your mark for people. Just kidding.
And we would have got married quicker, but you were in the middle of grad school. Like, it was busy, so like there was a lot of planning to go on and stuff like that. So. And
the fact that I was 24.
We were young. Yeah.
We were young. We got married young. I was 24 or 22 actually. Oh wait, I don't remember. I was 22. How old was I?
Wait,
no, I was 22.
2013. So.
I was 22.
8 years ago. Yeah, 22.
Oh, I was 22 when I got married. Yeah. And you were 24. That's what it was. Wow, we were young.
Right. Did each of you all ever worry about what your parents would say knowing that you were dating outside your race?
Good question.
That's a great question.
From my side, I would say no, because my parents really just didn't. First of all, my parents were worried about us dating, period.
Right.
So, and like I said, like, unfortunately, the areas that we lived, it was just all, like, mostly white. So I don't think my parents would have worried too much, because it's kind of like, what are your odds at the end of the day? So I wasn't worried at all about my parents, and they're a lot more open-minded. Right. What about you?
No, I was never worried about it. So I think if you grow up and your parents are like express racism or like, you know, things like that, maybe then you would be worried about it, but I never experienced any of that, so why would I have that concern in my heart, if that makes sense?
Right.
Plus, honestly, like, a lot of my friends were black, the whole track team was black, like, I love black people.
Don't say that, because people will think it's a fetish, baby.
No, but you know, like, I get along with black people really well.
Don't say that, they're gonna say you got with me because it's a fetish.
No, whatever.
Bro, listen, Lucas is right, his best friend, you know people say your best friend's black?
Yeah.
Lucas' best friend. really
Yeah, yeah, but no, so I was never concerned about it.
I would say this. I think both of our situations kind of switched. So like you're mostly were with black people and I was mostly with white.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what influenced it maybe a little bit. So he knows the beauty of like, you know, he relates. No, he don't relate. How you gonna say it without sounding like crazy? Lucas understands the beauty of black people.
Right.
But it's not a fetish in a way. It's like comfortable. He's just comfortable. Like he likes it.
Yeah, it's like because like I would call my high school it would still probably be predominantly white.
Yeah.
And then but I would just kind of like on like the sports teams, like I would hang out with the sprinters. Like we just got along better. It was like I don't know how to explain it.
And I don't want to sound stereotypical either, but like sometimes I don't know. Sometimes race has different mannerisms. I don't know how to explain it without sounding racist.
Yeah.
But or like, oh, you're being stereotypical. But like sometimes you pick up. I don't know. Like I feel like sometimes white people like are more valley, or sometimes black people. I feel like I don't know. Let me take that part out.
Yeah.
No, I can't take it out, huh?
Okay.
Oh, I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm not gonna say anything. So if you're white and if you're black and you got upset with what I just said, don't.
Sorry.
Because normally I would have just edited that part out. But I would like to say, I was actually worried about your parents.
Okay, so yeah, so you weren't worried about your parents, you were worried about my parents.
I was worried about your family.
Which can make sense, that makes sense.
Because I'm like, your ex-girlfriend was white, so.
Right. So you're like, oh, it's like a big shift.
That's a big shift. I was very worried, but they were really kind. They were very, very kind.
Yeah, but that's a great question though.
Oh, that's a good question. Go ahead.
It's a messy question. Messy question for Lucas. Since you first met the twins at the same time, and they are both lovely with great personalities, were you attracted at all to Rebecca at first before you started to pursue Rachel? I told you it was messy, but I love you. So honestly, no. So from the beginning, whenever I met them, I don't know, it was so easy for me to tell you guys apart. And they have completely different personalities. So to me, they were just like separate people. So they were sisters. I knew you guys were twins, but like the attraction wasn't there for like her personality or even her looks. Like to me, you're like a different person completely, if that makes sense. Yeah, so no, that's the easiest answer.
That's true. And like when you think about normal, and that's a good question, right? We get that a lot. But think about what attracts you to people. Is it the looks, or the personality? Because there's a lot of good-looking people out there. Like I feel like everyone's good-looking, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to be attracted to every good-looking person.
Right.
But you're going to be attracted to people's personalities. You know, whether they make you laugh and smile. Like that's what attracts people the most. Right. I feel.
Yeah. No, I agree.
If you make it feel comfortable.
Yeah. So.
I feel like that's what it attracted me.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like your personality like stood out. And then, like, I never had you guys confused or anything like that. It was super easy to tell you apart, but, and especially from your personalities. So.
Not saying Rebecca has a great personality.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I fell in love with you, and that's, yeah, so I was just answering the question.
Yeah. Good.
As an interracial couple, who may have encountered racial prejudice, how you prepare your biracial children for what they may also encounter?
That's a good question, and I would say, which we get this comment a lot, like, oh, you're just wiping out, you know, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna be a big issue like it was during our time to be biracial. Because in Lillian's class, it's like popping up more, like there's more and more biracial people, and like, I feel like this world now is a lot more mixing pot. A lot more Asians, a lot more blacks, a lot more than just like predominantly white. Like it's just not like just white and black. That's it.
Right.
I feel like it's like mixing a lot more, and I feel like this generation as a whole is like very stern and like, look, you just gotta accept me for who I am. Versus our generation, it was more you gotta fit this mold. Right. Right. But I feel like now it's shifting to, no, everyone's gonna have to fit everybody's mold. Right. And if you don't, then you're in trouble.
And it is kind of across the board on all things. Like, it's even like looking at Barbie dolls. Like Barbie dolls only used to be one looking way. Now they make different kinds in like every, you know, even like disabilities. It's just, I feel like there's a lot more knowledge out there and availability for children to see, like people are different than me and that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So.
right, let's do one more because it's 20 minutes.
Oh,
We
yeah,
kind of went way overboard. We talked though.
That's why we have a podcast channel.
I know. Maybe we should answer the rest of the podcast channel, actually.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question.
Lucas, did you lose any friends because you decided to date Rachel? No.
No.
I didn't lose any friends.
No friends.
Unfortunately, I know it's like, I wish it was like there was some juicy story behind this stuff, but no, like everybody, like my friends were super cool, so.
Yeah, they were.
Did you have a feeling that he or she was the one when you first saw each other, or over time you began to realize it?
I will say, I'll start first, you mind?
You go first.
So I'll say for me, it was in the span of 2 months, which is why we started dating in October, and we officially dated in
courting in October,
and then we dated in January.
Yeah.
So I told Lucas, like, I'm not the type of person who will want to date someone unless they have potential of marrying them. And yes, I was 18 years old saying this.
Hey.
And so we courted for a while, and I gave him the chance, and I told him, like, you know, I'm not gonna do it before marriage and this and that. Like, I told him all, like, laid it all out in front of him. I'm like, is this something that you want to date? Like, is this something, like, because when you date me, you're gonna have to date me with the mindset of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a different mindset of, like, it's not just gonna be loosely dating, or loosely boyfriend and girlfriend. So I would say it was in a span of 2 months, and then I was like, I really do see myself marrying him. Let me date him. And then what about you?
Yeah, I would say it happened really quickly. It wasn't from like the first time I saw you, because the first time I saw you, you were vomiting on a bench. So it wasn't from that moment, but it definitely happened very quickly whenever I got to know you. So it's like that physical attraction was there, and then it's like, oh, now we're hanging out. Oh my gosh, she's so cool. Like, she's so funny. So it did happen really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, one more.
If you're still here right now, you are a real one.
What should they comment down below?
Comment down below, I'm a real one.
Or like, comment down below, I really like this.
Okay.
So we can know to do longer vlogs.
Yeah, comment down below, podcast.
Right? All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question.
Okay. So what can you tell youngsters about marriage?
You want me to go first or you?
Go ahead.
All right, so this is what I would say. One, please don't look at every couple on YouTube, on Instagram, on this and that, and say like, oh my goodness, they're so perfect. I can't wait to find the perfect person so we can have a perfect relationship and we can have a perfect marriage. Yeah. Because once that happens, it's just, I feel like relationships will break up faster, divorce will happen. So my advice would be, don't expect perfection, right? But expect teamwork, expect communication. Like, you guys have to communicate, and you have to figure out a way to balance each other. Because if you think about me and Lucas in the beginning, I was that spunky, hyper, out of control, like ADD, like bouncing up the wall, finding just zippy dappy dappy, like kind of person. It was like, you know, all over the place. I'll be honest, like it's just like, it was all over the place, you know, but still had the core value of like kindness, you know, this and this and that. And then Lucas was more that reserved, like.
What is that? Have I ever done that in my life? Who's that creepy guy sitting on that park bench over there?
You were that type.
Bro.
Oh my gosh, too bad he's dying. We had to find a way to yin and yang and balance ourselves out, you know? And obviously, like, first, like, culturally, like, there's ways, but we were not perfect. We were not perfect in the beginning, and we're not perfect to this day. But because we know how to communicate and work as a team, like, we work. It works very well, and we like continue to have the love and respect for each other. Like
you were saying, don't go into it with an ideal relationship or with like raising it up on a pedestal, because then when you get disappointed, it's gonna really hurt you. So if you go into it with a realistic expectation of, we might have problems, we might have issues, we might fight, we might, you know, have disagreements, but I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna work it out. And if you guys talk about that before you get married, go through counseling, or, you know, you're just talking to each other, that's gonna make you guys that much stronger when those things do come up.
I love the pedestal thing, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, never put anybody on a pedestal except for God.
Yeah.
Because nobody's perfect.
Yeah, everyone's gonna let you down if you do that sometime or another.
And I learned to compartmentalize people, like no, and it's personalities.
Yeah.
But as long, that's what I tell people. Write down your must-haves, write down your deal breakers, and if it's not part of your deal breakers, don't run a divorce, don't run a breakup. Like if he's not taking out the trash, like is that one of your deal breakers?
And make sure your deal breakers are realistic.
Like,
don't
make
be
it
like,
realistic. But at the same time, if taking out your trash is one of your deal breakers, write it down.
Yeah.
But if it's not on your deal breaker list, you gotta just work it out together. Find out a way, like, you know, like, okay, I realize that you just really don't like I take out the trash. Do you want to switch wash the dishes for me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there is something that people don't like to do, and just switch it around. It doesn't have to be a gender role thing.
Right.
You know?
And the last point before we go, I know we talked about this before, but love languages are super important.
Oh my goodness.
Because a lot of people, they'll express their love of what their love language is. So if like my love language is gifts, I'm gonna give you a gift and think like, well, you should feel loved because of this, but that's not the truth. So you guys, if you're, you know, youngsters out there, look into love languages, and you got to find out what yours is and find out what your partner's is, so that way, you know, you can show love to them.
Right. So you have to show love to them by doing their love language, not yours.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, because they'll be like, oh, here's a gift, and you're like, oh, thanks. I'm like, oh, why didn't she should really feel loved right now. I gave her a nice gift, and you're like, well, that's not my love language. I don't care about gifts. And
it's funny, before we go, still like, man, it's like 24 minutes.
Bro.
But Lucas is right. I feel like that was our first big disconnect. Is when we didn't really understand love languages, right? And we both felt like, wow, like, I don't feel loved.
Yeah.
And Lucas and I was like, I show love. And Lucas like, I show love. I don't know why I'm not feeling love and you don't feel love.
Right.
And we realized that, you know, Lucas like, I keep telling you how beautiful you are. I keep telling you, like, because his words of affirmation. So he was like word bombing me, and I'm just like, that's not my love language. Like, but I wasn't word bombing him. I was doing acts, and he was like,
so
not my love language. So
yeah, learn love languages. They're important.
I give you a kiss now. The video is over. Love you.
Now I have shiny lips for the outro. I hope you guys enjoy this video so much, and we will check you guys in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Love you. Bye.